The woodcutter woke in the dark before dawn. For a moment, he was no one. Just breath in a body, in a small house, in the deep silence before the world began to name itself again. Then the names came back. His name, his house, his wife asleep beside him, his children in the next room, his axe leaning against the wall. The work the day would ask of him. The man he had been yesterday and would be again today. A self assembled itself, quickly and quietly in the dark, and this time he was watching. The Buddha called this Jati, birth. Jati is the 11th link in the chain of dependent origination. It arises from bhava, from becoming. Where bhava was the slow shaping of a life by accumulated clinging, Jati is the moment when that becoming crystallizes into a new self, fully formed, ready to step into the world and act. Not once at the start of a life, hundreds of times a day. Every time a clinging hardens into an identity. Every time a moment of becoming arrives at the threshold of a self. The word Jati in Pali means birth, or arising, or coming into being. It points to the moment, not the lifetime. The moment when bhava produces a recognizable being, a felt I am, a self that takes its place in the unfolding moment as if it had always been there. The Buddha taught Jati at 2 scales. The first is the great cycle, birth as the entry into a new life, a new round of conditioned existence set in motion by the bhava that came before. The wheel of samsara turning, beings born again and again into the worlds their clinging has built. The second is moment by moment, the birth that happens hundreds of times a day, in the space of a single breath. Every time a craving hardens into a position hardens into a self, and that self steps forward to speak, to reach, to defend. Most of these births go unnoticed. A self appears, acts, and dissolves, and the next steps in seamlessly behind it. Both scales are true. Both end the same way. Think about your own day. There is the self who wakes anxious about the morning. There is the self who feels small when the praise goes to someone else. There is the self who reaches, almost without thinking, for the thing that soothes. Each of these is a jati, a born self, a self that bhava prepared and that clinging delivered into the moment. If you have ever caught yourself mid-reaction, wondering, who is this acting right now? This is what you were noticing. A new self had just been born, and you had almost not seen it. The woodcutter sat up in the dark, the self of yesterday reassembling itself in him. The set of opinions, the weight of habits, the way of holding the shoulders, the small list of grievances and the small list of hopes. A whole man, born again, before his feet had even touched the floor. But he was watching, and in the watching, something quiet happened. The self that was being born did not stop arising, but it lost a little of its claim to be the only one possible. He could feel it gathering itself, and he could feel, behind it, the still attention that was watching it gather. The Buddha was careful here. He did not say there is a permanent watcher behind all the births. That would only be another jati, another self being born and claimed. He pointed instead to something more subtle, the capacity to see the births happen, the clarity that does not need to identify with the next self to come into the room. When jati is seen clearly, the births do not stop, but the grip loosens. The conviction that I am only this, only that, only the next arriving self begins to soften. And the wheel, while still turning, no longer turns you with quite the same force. This is the heart of the teaching. Liberation does not mean the births stop in a single morning. It means that, slowly, you stop being delivered helpless into each one. You are present at your own arising. And what is present at your arising is not, itself, a thing being arisen. The woodcutter let his feet touch the floor. Today's self had been born. He noticed it. He felt the small list of grievances assemble. He felt the familiar weight settle around the shoulders. and he simply, gently, did not believe it was all of him. He stood up. He picked up the axe. He began the day. But something was different. He had been present at his own birth, and the man who walked out into the morning carried, beneath the assembling self, a quieter presence that the assembling self had not made. In the next episode, we reach the 12th and final link of the chain, jara-marana, aging and death, where every born self meets its end, and the wheel completes itself. If this teaching is landing somewhere real in you, if you can sense the selves being born in your day, one after another, mostly unwatched, please subscribe and continue walking this path with us. We are not trying to stop the births. We are learning to be present at them.